welcome to Block Tornado. How are you? And today we're going to talk about orbs. And the reason is, I already made a video regarding that, but it seems to me that this rabbit hole of orbs is going even deeper than I thought, and I'll explain to you why. So please stay with me to understand where I'm at. As far as if you followed my channel, you'll like to bring this update to what I think further is going on as far as orbs are concerned. And as you probably know, if you watch my channel, I'm also a witness of orbs, and you can see it on my blogtornado.com in UFO section or article I wrote about the UFO and orb phenomena, and you can read more about it there. In case you're a witness or you have witnessed it yourself, then you probably understand what I'm talking about. And please leave comments so we can bring the awareness of the situation of orbs and talk about it, because it seems like to me this whole orb phenomena is been around for a long time, and I'll explain to you how deep this goes. Okay, and I talk about this in my video about UFO orbs and Illuminati connection. Okay, because if you check out the Illuminati symbol, you'll see that the actual top of the pyramid is detached from the rest of the pyramid, which is actually hovering in the air. Okay, not just that, but it's illuminating. Okay, it's illuminating light. Okay, and the more and more I think about these orbs in the sky, it's telling me that they're watching us throughout history, that's why I'm making this video, which brings me to another question. Are we being some sort of experiment? And why are those lights in the sky like some sort of cameras? Like, you know, that to me explains the fact that on American dollar bill, the all-seeing eye, it's the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence, the e pluribus unum, above all none. And these symbols are pretty much everywhere in the world. Like, what's going on here? You know, is this actually going as far as the government itself? So what's going on here is pretty much what the topic of this video is. Are we being some sort of experiment that perhaps we don't know about, and these orbs are actually watching us throughout the evolution? And I can remember it as far as long ago, even the Second World War II, when soldiers mistaken those orbs for German fighter planes, and they thought it was an enemy, and basically they were orbs, again, orange lights in the sky. And whenever you hear orange light, usually it refers to the orbs, and it's most likely authentic story, since orange color is present. And it's pretty much what I saw when I witnessed orbs. And that's the reason I'm kind of thinking why all this is happening as far as the history goes, because it's becoming, these orbs are kind of more and more common around the internet, and I actually thought that was special when it happened to me, but it's not. It's later on I seen it on YouTube, and I become aware that these lights are quite common, and a lot of people has catch them on I will leave some link below for you to see. And also the first link is going to be about a message the orbs are actually seem to be communicating with us. And I think the video is authentic because it's pretty much what I've saw, and it's got a lot of characteristics. You're gonna notice that they like to float in the air, they're in straight lines sometimes they come in fleets, but commonly you might see them only 3 lights, and what they do, they multiply. First you're gonna see 1 orb, and then you're gonna see 2 more orbs coming slowly out of the main orb. And that seems to be their behavior, and you can see that clearly in this Massachusetts video, which is physical evidence. It's not just verbal like mine. But if you compare the story to what I've seen, you'll see similar characteristics to verify for yourself. But anyways, it's a common thing. It's not something that needs a lot of verification, really, because if anybody want to fake this, they will most likely put a real UFO. UFO, something like I said before. You see it Independence Day or something along those lines, like a very highly detailed spaceship. But no, these are just lights and nothing more. And most people, they're not going to be interested in faking that. What is very concerning to me here, and please stay with me so we can further discuss this situation, what is really going on with orbs. Okay, so let me bring it one step forward. Why I'm concerned about this is because it seems to me like, yes, that perhaps we're some sort of experiment, and why are they keep on observing us? It seems like they're floating in the air like some sort of artificial intelligence or whatnot, or some kind of cameras in the sky, just like in some movies that we see how we're part of the experiment and these things are watching us, and it's something like that, some kind of a story like that. But this is really happening in reality, and this is the reason I'm concerned. And it goes all the way into the government, which is, as I talked about, it's on $1 bill. Why I think that all-seeing eye, the eye of providence, is part of this, an Illuminati symbol, is part of this orb phenomena, the orbs. So how far does this really go? It seems like to me it's going pretty far if it's all the way, if it ends up being on American dollar bill. One of the most powerful currencies, and why would it be there? And then also it shows a pyramid, and as you know, pyramids are something just so unusual that they stick out from our evolution like a bump on a road. And what's going on, and why is the pyramid shown also an Illuminati symbol? And there's more, and I don't want to reveal it just yet, but there's some serious clues that are pretty much visible in plain sight when we look at the Illuminati symbol and how those things relate. I have a scientific proof of that, and I also have a visual proof. You can load up any image of pyramids and I can point it out to you, but I'll leave that for some other time. But let me know if you're interested. We'll talk more about this. I will dedicate a video only to that. So again, what are orbs? What are they doing? Why are they observing us? Are we some sort of experiment? What is going on? It's my question. That and how long they've been on Earth. They're definitely, the thing is, they don't seem to be flying randomly. I have to bring this up, so please stay with me that I explain to you. They don't fly randomly like some kind of bird or an insect for that matter. They seem to be flying in a intellectual way, which how can that be achieved? Multiplying, that's one thing that we cannot achieve that. How can you from one orb that, from what I saw, the more orbs came out, and you can check it out in Western Massachusetts footage. They just seem to come out of another orb. We cannot replicate anything like that so far. But again, if it was light, then I can imagine, but it seems to be some sort of plasma, which it's understandable, it can be done. However, it happened so long ago, in my opinion, in my situation, and there was nothing like it around those days as far as technology is concerned, or some kind of flying vehicles that can replicate something like that. 30 years later, I can understand with the drones, now we can do something like that. But 30 years ago, I don't remember any kind of drones flying around, and been displaying such, showing what I've seen. So I don't think it was anything like that. But so again, we have to come to a conclusion here that they are real. So let's try to skip that problem, because probably you haven't witnessed this, and you cannot relate to this, and it's very hard for you to believe. And I just, it's not something. Orbs are not something ridiculous like a UFO, like Bob Lazar story, or a Barney or Betty Hill story of UFO abduction. I mean, nothing like so detailed. Okay, orbs are just lights in the sky, but what catches your attention, they're just so bright in the middle of nowhere. From where I saw, they were on top of the hill, and they're just just standing, just hovering in the air, still making no noise. I mean, it is something very unusual here. I don't know what's going on, but not just that, but not too far from there, maybe 5-10 kilometers from there, there's a shrine, and you can see there's a Jesus inside and candles, whatnot, typical of European country. But then on top, there's actual symbol of Illuminati symbol, the all-seeing eye. So, to me, that is really suspicious. Why I saw orbs not too far from there, and then again, I see this symbol of Illuminati. You know what? I will post that if you go to Twitter. I will post the picture of what I took it from Google's map, and that's how I found it. I didn't know it actually existed around that town, but as I Google map it, I found this Illuminati symbol not too far from where I saw the orb. So I took a snap from Google. Have a look at it and see what you think. But what I'm saying is just very suspicious to me. And you see these Illuminati symbols everywhere in the world. Now, another thing comes up as far as orbs are concerned, okay? There is a man who, and I will leave the link below, check it out. And it was shot in England when he was taping just crop circles, okay? And crop circles are basically, stamped. And crop circles are basically, from what people say, are, created by some kind of force that we cannot explain. And of course, there's a lot of man-made crop circles as well. But what he tapes with his VHS player, which he just happened to have one at the time, and he explains why, which we have to wonder how he suddenly happened to have that on him. But he's taping the actual orbs, plasma lights, or this, what I'm talking about here today. They're creating the crop circles right on spot. You can see them doing it, and everybody and that footage was taken to be analyzed by even ILM at George Lucas ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, and to see what they think of this Orbs VHS footage. And they also think it's authentic, and I certainly, if somebody wanted to fake it, they most likely are not going to use orbs to show this fake footage. They're most likely going to use some sort of different CGI, like a UFO, made out of metal, but not orbs. And that's the reason why I think footage is authentic, because I've seen orbs and I know how they look like. But he actually taped it, and they're creating crop circles. You can see it. They're flying over the crop, and they're just, making those circles. And it does kind of tie in with this, some kind of extraterrestrial phenomena, so why not? I don't think humans would be interested in making such art on such a big scale for the purpose of some sort of entertainment or something like that. It kind of belongs more to the orbs, to the alien, to the extraterrestrial connection to me, more than human imagination. But yes, we're capable of replicating something like that. But again, it's interesting that how they go about doing this. So and that's the reason I'm thinking, this footage is authentic for that reason, because whoever chose to tape it, there was no UFO present. It was just orbs of light. So so that's the reason I think it's authentic. And again, orbs are very. The only thing that I like to point out, and if you're staying with me so far, is that these things are popping out throughout history of our evolution. We don't even know how far they go back. Are they just like, why are they sort of sneaking into our reality now, into our lives? What's going on? Are they appearing more and more? Now we see them in fleets. Some footage show a lot of orbs in fleets. And that's what's very interesting to me. Are they, we need to get to the bottom of this. Even NASA admits they've seen those things throughout many years before, except they don't know what it is, and they even have footage of that, from space. But the question is, what are they? Are they watching us? The question is, are we experimenting? Why is there, Illuminati symbols I explained? I believe the all-seeing eye in the sky is orbs. So whoever created that Illuminati symbol has something to do with orbs. It's got to be, some part of that. And not just that, but now that I look at it more, there's some talk about reptilians and the grace and so forth, which I'm going to get into in my next video, but I'd like to talk about more. This is where I'm ending up now from making all these videos. I sort of come to this point that perhaps, as they say, they talk about it. I'm not the one saying that, but from what I'm getting from them is basically the information they're giving out is that they are some sort of reptilians that live under the ground, and they're at war with the Greys, which are the aliens, I believe. And of course, they're more highly sophisticated, and of course, they're gonna be in battle with the Grey aliens. And reptilians supposedly live here on Earth. So I can understand they might have a conflict, because one is more intelligent than the other, and they perhaps don't like each other because of that, because one wants to outsmart another. And from all we can say that we have alien abductions, and those are the Greys, and then we have reptilians that live on Earth, supposedly in the ground. And that's where you hear all these stories about shape-shifting and lizards, people shape-shift into lizards or whatnot. But now that I think about it more and more, I mean, if you think this is just like just a story, just something fake, then why are we seeing orbs in the sky? I mean, once you witness those orbs yourself, you'll understand what I mean. It's just something so unusual from everyday life that it just pops out and stays with you, all the time, and it doesn't go away. And that's pretty much why I made this channel. I like to talk about reality here and not some entertainment, some facts. We need facts, and that's what the UFO world is lacking of, a lot of facts, because it's so easy to fake such things, and it's hard to get the truth out, and like I said before, anything with the gray alien in it and then UFO, we automatically assume could be real, and that's why this whole thing is a gray area, if anything. So again, when it comes to orbs, that's all I wanted to bring up until now. But like I said, as far as reptilians, and aliens, I came to a conclusion about some planet, Zeta Reticuli, and it ties in with Bob Lazar's story, and also ties in with Barney and Betty Hill's story, and Ivan Channel 0135 Ivan. they all talk about Zeta Reticuli. Okay, so are those aliens at war with reptilians here on Earth that supposedly are fighting each other, and reptilians supposedly want to enslave the population, and Bob Lazar's talking about something, us being containers, that he heard something like that about containers. We are containers. What does that mean? I mean, if anything, there has to be something to this story. That's why I like to dig more into it to find the truth. Again, I saw such orbs. I'm a witness of orbs, and that's the reason I just can't forget and think we go about everyday life. But I think something is going on that is just more deeper than we think. Are we part of some sort of experiment? Why is this Illuminati symbol on American dollar bill? What's going on? Like I explained to you, it pretty much tells me that the Illuminati symbol is referring to orbs. They hover, the symbol, there's a hovering pyramid, it illuminates the light, and it's an all-seeing eye that supposedly was watching everyone, like Google Maps or something like that. And it seems to me that this is pretty much what orbs are all about, in my opinion. Illuminati, right? Illuminating light. Yeah, and that's pretty much that I would like to. If you have something to say, please say it down below in the comments. If you've seen some orbs, if you have some other information, some people have comment before about being some kind of crystals, MANI crystals, something like that, and I can't understand because the video that he was talking about, explain about the orbs, is in Polish. And I can't understand much of it, but from what I can get is that there's some kind of crystals, and they show some kind of stones, that perhaps they're part of that. And but as far as I'm concerned, like I said, it's that is my opinion of it being more like a UFO, extraterrestrial phenomena, rather than some kind of crystal phenomena. But if you think, you can add something more to this, and you think it could be something else, not perhaps UFOs at all, then please leave a comment below so we can bring this awareness, okay? I just think that this whole thing is a little bit sneaky, the way orbs are going about doing things. I don't know is it because they don't want to scare us, or they're trying to mix in, they try to communicate with us. That's why they're showing themselves up. That's why we see so many footage lately about orbs. And what exactly are orbs? I'm just trying to bring the awareness here, and please comment so we can point it out. Are they all seeing eye in the sky? Are they watching us? Are we some part of an experiment? Why is it on an American dollar bill? Is that related to orbs? It seems to me there is something to it. So. And that's all that I want to mention today. So yeah, please comment below, and I'll talk more about reptilians and the grace and what really is going on amongst those two living beings. And I saw the footage where it actually shows one of the reptilians. Well, this looks like a reptilian to me, but I will try to find in my next video the footage, and I'll talk more about that. Let me just gather some more information and see what I can get to. So I would like to thank you, obviously, if you followed me all the way here. I know I talk a lot, I understand, but just trying to point some things out to bring more realization that UFOs are real, and what is going on. What's going on with Bob Lazar's 9 UFOs? Where are they now? What happened to them? Where did the military put them? Are they here now as I speak, like they're on Earth among us as I talk right now? I mean, that to me is just crazy. That to me is something, it was my dream. It's my thought that, using a UFO is the only thing that we could use to take us out of this world and explore the rest of the galaxy, like, you see in Star Trek, and that's a reality if UFOs are real, that supposedly military has them in possession. That would be great. I mean, that's amazing that we can actually do such a thing. If we can, Bob Lazar talks about they're able to fly too, so who knows? Again, check out the Barney and Betty Hill story about those aliens, which seems to me that I talked about in previous video from Zeta Reticular Bob Lazar and Zeta Reticular 2, Decoded. I talk about how they all talk about Zeta Reticuli star system, even Bob Lazar does, and how they tie in together. There's a channel here on YouTube, like I said, Ivan0135, that bridges those two stories together. And he also mentioned Zeta Reticular. Was that footage that he put on authentic? That is the question, because it shows aliens with black suits, and Barney and Betty Hill's story talks about black suits on those aliens as well. So how the heck does this all relate to? This is strange to me, very strange. The Zeta Reticular is 39 light years away. Somebody here commenting below. He put in comments, he said that, it cannot be done because it's 39 light years away. It's too long for travel. But I said that perhaps, they use hypersleep to get all the way here or whatnot. But he also talked about, that they cannot, through laws of physics that we know of so far, that such travel, will be impossible, or, but again, and I can understand that. However, they are probably more intelligent than us because they had a head start in evolution, let's say thousands and thousands of years to achieve such technology. So they didn't just appear there, okay? That's why they're more intelligent, more advanced, I should say, and intelligent too because of the evolution. So whatever the rock with microbial life hit first, you had a head start in evolution. So Earth must have come down later down the line, where the comet with bacterial life has hit the planet. And as you can see on the moon, how many craters have, which explains perhaps that the rocks that were spread across the universe, they were actually landed here on Earth as well, because moon is close to Earth, and basically since Earth is a habitable planet, life was able to exist, and therefore evolution took place, and that's why we're here. And as you know, the craters show on the moon that also a lot of asteroids has landed with microbial life there as well. But if life wasn't able to evolution wasn't able to happen, then of course that the moon was already dead way before that, or at least wasn't able to sustain life. And but Earth was, so we are pretty much an evidence of that. But like I said, we are not first in line as far as this habitable planets goes around the universe. So when the universe was pollinated with all this microbial life, and still the question is where it's coming from, where did it come from? Is it from creators, our creators, or is it from actual natural occurrence? Engineers, I should say, like it was set in Scott Ridley's movie Prometheus, but or is it some sort of planet that had microbial life and got hit by another planet or whatever, collided with something, and basically spread the microbial life that was on that planet all around the universe, and some of it landed here on this habitable planet. So, but like I said, the universe is so random, and life could have been habitable planets could have been hit by such a rock anywhere in a galaxy. So it's really hard to believe that we are first in line, and that's why we have life flying around like extraterrestrials, because such microbial rocks have hit other habitable planets in the past way before us, and therefore they had this head start in evolution. They were able to evolve faster, and we don't know how much longer than us, and that it's quite logical explanation regardless of any kind of rocks, but still the fact is that why would we be first in line as far as evolution goes? There could have been many life forms such as us. They could have been people such as us, except they had a head start in evolution, thousands and thousands of years ahead of us. And that's why Bob Lazar's story is very important, because it talks about 9 UFOs and how could they could actually be, how advanced they are and so forth. And that explains that they're The evolution had to take place way before us for such technology to become a reality. And and again, at some point, they could have been just regular people like us. Their characteristics certainly look like it. If Ivan's channel, Ivan0135, if that channel is true, that's IVAN 0135. If his channels, the footage on that channel is authentic, they look, similar to us. Still have legs and arms they need to walk around with, and heads. They don't look necessarily like some kind of monsters. They're completely different than us. So and that could explain that they had a head start in evolution, judging by their technology. So anyways, sorry for talking so long, and please come back I post videos. Just want to quickly say I post videos every day, or every second day, or even every third day, but there's always something new that I talk about, and I'm keep on going forward, and the deeper I go, the more I'm realizing something. And that's why I brought this orb topic up today, because of I find more information, and I'm slowly starting to see a bigger picture of all this. And yes, I will talk about reptilians and the grace and what's going on as far as that goes. And as you know, a lot of people are backing the story up, so it's not just a small group of people, but this is a lot bigger than I thought. And I would like to look into this, what's going on. And to me, I saw orbs before, so I'm a believer of different ideas or different things that I hear, because I actually seen it with my own eyes, and nobody can explain that to me or say to me that I didn't. And again, the Illuminati symbol on $1 American bill, what's going on? And the pyramids, what's going on there, So, and of course, we're not alone in the universe, especially when it's that big. It's infinite, so you can imagine what I'm talking about here. But I appreciate, again, if you stayed all the way till here. I know I talk a lot, I will say that again. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and please come back again so we can discuss more about alien life and hunt for the truth here at Block Tornado. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.